From the baby to the elderly, we all experience loss. Just imagine a child or a baby who's in a very loving, supportive environment when, while in the mother's belly, all the nutrients the baby needed was right there. Nice, warm environment. That's what the baby had, or that's what the little, what's it called? Embryo had, or fetus. And then what happened? Birth. Birth into what? This crazy, chaotic world. That was a loss. You have the elderly who are experiencing loss. And you know how you can tell they're experiencing loss? You look in their medicine cabinets. What do they have? All of these different things that say, I've lost. Maybe I've lost the flexibility of my arteries, okay? Maybe I've lost the functioning of my, what is it that produces insulin? Pancreas. Thank you very much. Or maybe my heart isn't pumping as strong as it once did. All a part of loss. But just in case you've not been a baby, just in case you've not reached those, quote, golden years, something tells me that every single one of you experienced 2020, 2021. And when we talk about 2020, 2021, we're talking about significant loss. Maybe loss of smiles because we've had to cover them up. Maybe loss of freedoms because we could not go the different places where we wanted to go. And maybe just that loss of security because you never knew who would possibly get infected next. And with the infections came what? Death. Sadly, the numbers still continue to show that this thing of herd immunity has not reached yet. A lot of us have just heard about the losses, and some of us have actually experienced the losses because friends may have died, maybe even family members may have died as a result of this thing called COVID. And that's why we're here today. But I want you to know, I want to remind you that loss is loss. Significant loss affects you, affects me, and will continue to affect every single one of us until the Grim Reaper comes for us. But until that time, how is it that you're going to deal with loss? Well, I'm going to give you a few strategies. One of the strategies has actually helped me because January 30, I lost somebody that was very close to me, my father. And did it take a hit? We had talked about death just months earlier. But here's the thing about death. If you become comfortable with death, there's an issue, okay? There just is. It's something that I should never be too comfortable with. And if you're not comfortable with it, guess what that's going to do? That's going to cause a lot of emotion. How do you manage the emotion so that the emotion isn't managing you? Think about this. The very first thing is to acknowledge the emotion. Somebody said you could actually sit with the emotion. Now, who in here has emotions? All right, I see very few hands. Who does not have emotions? And thank you for raising your hands too. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, every single one of us in here has emotions. We need not deny that. Unfortunately, sometimes what does happen is maybe sister, your name is Janice, I think, yeah. Maybe she comes to me, hey, I'm really sad about this particular thing. And unfortunately, what might I say to her? Don't worry about it. Buck up. You'll be okay. Could be true. But then again, she's dealing with this emotion. So it's important for us to acknowledge the emotion. It's important for us to sit with the emotion. But here's the thing. We don't need to stay with the emotion. Why don't we need to stay with the emotion? Because if we stay with the emotion, we have to realize that along with the emotions come what? Stress hormones. Now, stress hormones are in the system for we'll just talk about 2 reasons why stress hormones are in the system. That is to help you fight the situation and to help you flee from the situation. Outside of that, the stress hormones don't need to be in the system because they will begin to break the system down. And you see, we talked about all the medicines in the medicine cabinet. Guess what? It will make you old before your time. Here's one way that you can not stay with the emotions. Here's one way that you can manage the loss, especially whatever the loss might be. Okay, but especially as we talk about losing loved ones. When my father died, as I was going back home for the funeral, I knew that he was going to be buried in his uniform, and I determined that I was going to get his cord. Once I got to home, I realized what I would do with it. I put it on the picture stand, right beside his picture, right with his picture, as that reminder of the strength that this man had. And that strength motivates me ever so often too. I encourage you to consider coming up with some type of memorial, whatever it might be. Maybe your person liked pink daffodils. You can just plant some pink daffodils in your yard. Or maybe the person liked jogging or running. We have some running events around here, okay? So maybe one thing that you can do is you can make a donation to the run, because the run funds cancer or something like that, Cure for Cancer. I hope you understand what I'm saying. But all in all, remember this, brothers and sisters. Loss is going to come at you. Figure out how to manage it so it will not manage you. Thank you for your time.